Hey, welcome to Lecture 2, Module 2. Um, this is all going to be based on your textbook, so you may need to have that and have read the pages. Hopefully you have. If not, there's a lot of this stuff that's going to be based on the book, so I want you to have read it before you dig into the online content. So please do that first if you've already read the chapters, and let's go ahead. So I want to comment on a couple things that I found from the book, and I'll do this each week, that I think are particularly great. The first thing is that you are a business. You need to think of yourself as a business. You need yourself as a business. There's a tendency of people who get into this business to think, oh, I'm an artist. Good. I don't have to do any of that stuff. Or I just want to be creative. I just want to do this. No. Every single person working in this business is a business unto themselves. They're an entrepreneur. You need to think of yourself that way. If you don't, you will not be successful. Second thing, you can make more money by cutting costs than you can by earning more income. This is something that's in your textbook, and I think it's brilliant. You have to remember that there are costs associated with any income you make. If you have a record deal, if you have a manager, if you have an agent, all those people take a percentage of your money. Any money that you save after already paying the percentage goes right into your pocket, and you don't have to pay those people another percentage again. If you earn more money, and you'll see as we start doing the calculations, a lot of your money is gone before it reaches your hands. So you can make more money by cutting costs than you can by earning more income is an important concept. Third, your career is going to have a limited run. Earnings spread out aren't as impressive. Yes, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in a year. Yeehaw, that's great. And the next year you make $2. You start spreading those earnings out over time, it's not as much money. So you need to know that a star run, or as a producer, you have a hot streak, or as an engineer, you're like the flavor of the year, or flavor of a couple of years, or flavor of the month. You're going to make a lot of money during that time, but that is not going to be the case for a 30 or 40 year run of a career that you might have if you're an accountant. So you need to understand that's how it is. So when you make a lot of money, put a lot away or invest it. Important concept. Next, also from the book, he talks about internet promotion, and that's a big thing now. We're still sorting out where that's going and what's going to be important, but he points out a couple of things that are giveaways of your music. You can give away music. You can also create a website to promote yourself, that kind of thing. Email building strategies, ways that you can give a song away in exchange for an email address of a fan. It's all about having access to your fans and knowing who they are and being able to get to them. TV, film, and commercial placement. Think of the Black Keys. If you're not familiar with them, I will probably link to a video from them and talk about how they got started, and really what made them and what made them successful was their TV, film, and commercial placement, mostly commercials for them in the beginning of their music, and it made them hundreds of thousands of dollars, and it sustained them and allowed their career to build. And then the other thing you need to think about is do yourself or a label deal. A major label deal comes with a lot of strings. Do it yourself can be great if you're self-motivated, but it can be a disaster if you're not. So you need to sort that out and figure out what you can do and how aggressive you are willing to be in taking care of your own business. The next thing about your book. I think Don Passman's book is amazing, but you've got to think about who is the author talking to. And if you think about it, if you've read the book, part of the book, that he's speaking to artists, okay? So he's not speaking to engineers, he's not speaking as much to managers, he's speaking, it's written to speak to artists. So you need to keep that in mind when you're reading the book. one thing you always need to keep in mind throughout your career, with everything that you're doing, including your education, is that everyone has an agenda, including the author of this book. He is an attorney. He looks at the business, he looks at life, he looks at things through that prism. So this is one source of information, and it's a very important source of information, but he deals with a certain side of the business. You may go beyond that, or you may be in a different thing. So always know that everybody has a point of view, including me, and that we look at things in certain ways, and it's important that you learn to look at problems, look at the business, look at your career from different perspectives. And building your team, which is what this week is about, and what the reading was about. Who comes on board first is an important question. I tend to differ a little with the author. Obviously, he's an attorney, so he tends to think that attorneys come on board first. And so the answer to this is, who comes on board first? It depends. The biggest thing is, who is passionate about your music? Who is passionate about helping you? And that passion can hide or mask or cover a variety of sins. You may have a newbie manager who's passionate about you, and he's going to kill himself to make it happen. You also may have another manager, a big, huge manager, who's interested in working with you, but he's got 4 other acts that are major acts, and he's just not going to have the time to put into you. You need to weigh, is the passion more important than contacts and things like that? And that's one of the other things, connections. You can sign with a lawyer first. You can get a lawyer on board first. They may have access to the president of the label. They may have access to concert promoters. They may have access to music and film companies, that directors who might be interested in using your music in their next film. So connections can be a big part of it. Reputation. You get signed to somebody who has a reputation in the business. You're going to get taken a lot more seriously, a lot faster than being a do-it-yourself person or signing with someone who has no connections or has no power base. Which is more important? Which can work for you? Again, it all depends. And then commitment. You can sign with some big people. You can sign with William Morris or CAA to represent you, to handle your touring. But if they aren't committed to you above everybody else, your career may suffer. You may find yourself on their list somewhere, and that looks good on a resume, and it might look good, on your website to say you're signed to William Morris, CAA, or somebody like that. But if they're not working for you and they're not putting the time in, is that really valuable? So questions you need to answer.